In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what a North Star is, why you want to have one, where most people go wrong when it comes to setting their goals, and I'm also going to be sharing with you how you can actually go out creating your very own North Star. This channel is dedicated to entrepreneurs, leaders, and ambitious professionals that want to live a purposeful, inspired, and energized life that they love. So if you'd like to know more about that and you want to be able to transform excuses into results, then be sure to hit subscribe and click the notifications bell so you can get these videos that come out every week. If you think of all of the great leaders over centuries, they've spoken about beginning with the end in mind. Napoleon Hill often referred to it as the chief aim. Aristotle referred to the telos, which is a Greek word meaning end or goal. It's been described in so many different ways, from ultimate goal to master plan to calling to mission to vision to divine design. There's so many different names for it. But the term I like to use is North Star, and the reason being is that for millennium we've used the North Star as a guiding light, but to my knowledge nobody's ever been there. So what we've been able to do is, by using the North Star, we've been able to identify where we are and be able to plot a trajectory of where it is that we want to go to be able to get to where it is that we want to be. And I believe that we can do exactly this with our ultimate goal. So a North Star for me is exactly that. It's an ultimate goal. It's where do you want to be in life, personally, professionally, financially. Ultimately, what would be the absolute dream for you? What I also recommend for people is they set the North Star so big that they never achieve it. And the first thing I normally get hit back with is, Will, that's crazy. Why would I want to set a goal so big that I never actually achieve it? And it's so true. I say to people, have this goal that's so big, it's the equivalent of trying to empty the sea with a spoon. And the reason we do that is because if it's so big that we don't believe we're going to achieve it, it does two things. One, it means we are able to detach from actually the goal itself and we can focus on the process. And two, is that we can focus on getting our fulfillment from the process itself. So I'm sure you've had a situation at some point in the past before where you've said, I'll be happy when. It's what I call when then syndrome. When this happens, then that'll happen. So when this happens, then I'll be happy. When I hit that goal, then I'll be happy. And the issue with that is that you constantly end up on this sort of treadmill or hamster wheel of going round and round, because you achieve a goal, feel fulfilled for a few minutes, then you set a new one and then spend all that time achieving it being unfulfilled. Whereas the focus that I get my clients, and what I want you to be able to do as well, is to focus on getting your fulfillment from the process, to focus on the action that you're taking. So every single day you're moving forward. A little bit like how sort of the computers of years ago used to have a loading bar that would continue to load. Now it used to get to 100% and it'd be done. Now imagine a loading bar that never got finished, but every day incrementally you are adding another percentage to it. That can be your fulfillment, your happiness, and that's what I want for you. So before we get stuck into how you can create your North Star, I want to explain where most people go wrong when it comes to setting goals. So a lot of people don't set any goals whatsoever, and if you're one of those people, we're going to change that very, very soon. But some people do set goals, and where they go wrong is they set lots of short-term goals. So goals for just a year from now, or 3 years from now, or even 5 years from now, and they work really, really hard to get to that point, and then they just set another 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year goal. And the issue with that is that they put the blinkers on, they put their head down, they work really hard, but what's happening is they're moving in lots of directions every time. They haven't got a strategy of where they're moving towards. They haven't got that trajectory. So one of the beauties of having a North Star is that you can reverse engineer it to create what we call your North Star trajectory. So your ultimate goal is the absolute dream. Reverse engineer that 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 1 year from now, 90 days from now, 30 days from now. So you can break it down to 2 weeks from now and then start looking at the specific actions you need to take to be able to build that momentum. It's a little bit like how when an aircraft takes off, let's say it was flying from London to New York, say, it knows its end destination, it knows where it wants to get to, the pilot's going to plot a trajectory, but the aircraft doesn't fly on that trajectory the whole time. It's having to make constant adjustments for the wind and for the weather and for the flock of birds that's flying towards it. And it's the same with you. You might fly off course 95% of the time, but what we're doing is we're working towards heading towards that North Star, knowing that's where we're going to get the fulfillment from. And the beauty of that is that when we align this appropriately and we get this as it should be, it's going to align to your highest means values, which I'll be covering in another video. And you can really get stuck into being able to make the most of that fulfillment journey and experiencing that journey of change. Like I say, whether it's personally, professionally, financially, it becomes hugely beneficial for you. So how do you actually go about creating a North Star? Well, it's really simple. You get yourself a pen and paper, or open your laptop or computer, and you're gonna just write what would be the dream life for you, the absolute dream, and think as big as you can here. I'm not getting you to think what you think is probable. I'm getting you to write down or type what you think is possible. What would you absolutely love to have? Go crazy. Think about, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? What do you want your health and fitness to look like? What do you want your family life to be like? What do you want your relationship to be like? What do you want your social life to be like? Your attitude? How do you want to think? How do you want to feel? What do you want your career to be like? What do you want your bucket list goals to be? So I don't know, what would you have achieved in your life, whether it's qualifications or things you've gone out and done, or material items that you may have. What do you want your financial position to be? And get as specific as you can. Any word that's subjective, you want to break that down as much as you can. So rather than say I want to have lots of money, how much? What's that number for you? If you say I want to have a big business, what's that big business? Is it a global business with offices on different continents? Are you impacting thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people? What would that be? So get that written down and write that out. So I would love to hear about what some of your North Star goals are. So feel free to write in the comments what some of your North Star items would be. But I encourage you to create this document. What I also encourage you to do is read it every single week. So you're constantly focusing your reticular activating system, which is the part of your brain that enables you to focus on the dream. And at least once a week, visualize it. So take a few minutes to close your eyes and visualize living and having that experience now in your mind's eye. We're going to be covering visualization in later videos, but that's just something to get you going right now with regards to your North Star. So I hope you found this beneficial. Again, if you haven't already, hit subscribe, click the bell, turn on the notifications, and we'll see you on another video that will be coming up very soon. Until next time, make it happen.